welcome. I'm Jade of Jaded Reader, and today I am doing a huge undertaking. I have every book I own here except for my favorite shelf, and even some of those are in this pile because I eventually, not right now eventually, but very soon, will be moving to Japan. I cannot take all of these with me, and there have been new restrictions on how much luggage we can take with us through my program, so I need to be very choosy about the books that come with me physically, and in doing that, I've been able to release some of my favorites into this pile to send to myself later. And if I'm able to hold off on taking those books with me to Japan, I feel like I need to go through these boxes again and see what I don't even need to take to Japan at all. This is going to be kind of a lengthy video because I separated my books to send to myself through seasons. Most of my life is organized into seasons. Welcome to witchcraft. And so I have 4 boxes here, and each one I was going to be sending to myself through each season. So if I arrive in the fall, I was going to have a box sent to me in winter, and then spring, summer, and then my last book box would be a fall book box. If they send me in the winter, so on and so forth. I have these books set up as seasons. I need to go through them and figure out which ones I am unhauling and just not taking with me. And then I will make a separate video about the books that I will be sending with me and putting them into seasons. So that video is coming out too, but before I decide what books I'm putting in these boxes, I need to take them all out and unhaul them. So essentially this is my second unhaul video for Japan. I went through all of these books originally about a year ago and decided that I wanted to keep all of them. Things have changed. I have changed. I am a new person now. I have also gained more books, and in doing so, I'm going to need to release other ones. I can't keep all of these. I can't send them all. These boxes will be expensive to ship anyway. Thank you for listening to that preamble, unless you just skipped forward, in which case, respect. I do that all the time. I'm not going to start with this box because this is the final one. Where is, oh no! I'm so sorry I dropped you. You're crooked now. Things exploded. Oh gosh, okay. Well, you're fine. You're fine. You're okay? You're fine. First wave. This was the first box I was going to be sending to myself. I put TBR, sequels, debuts to continue. Like there was a debut and I liked it and I'm going to continue it, but it's their first. Is that a sophomore book? What is she talking about? And debuts. Okay, I figured out what debuts to continue means. We have, and I don't think this is her debut. I think I just meant like the first book in a series, and I wanted to have the first book in the series with me when I got the sequel. She's Jade from the past. She didn't know what was going to happen to her. An example of this is The Poppy War. It is the first in the series. I don't own the rest of the series. The idea here is that I would want to continue it and then have them all on my shelf, so I was going to send the first one to myself. That's just an example. I'm not unhauling The Poppy War. That's not a thing that's happening today. Oh, Incendiary. Ooh, with red sprayed edges. These are my books. I'm acting like I've never seen them before. Beautiful and Girls with Sharp Sticks. Daughters of Henri, good stuff. Spin the Dawn, haven't read it yet. King of Scars, which is funny because I ended up actually reading the sequel. I would have liked to mark it up, but did not buy it physically. It's a chunker. And then we have these two. All right. I have finished box number 1, and out of that, I am unhauling 3 books. Girls with Sharp Sticks by Suzanne Young. There's no particular reason I'm unhauling this. I don't know anything about this book really, except for that I haven't ever thought about it since getting it. I think it might have even been a gift from my grandma. Looks like it might be an academy book, a boarding school, some sort of education system thing, which, I mean, that sounds really interesting, but I just don't think I'll be reading it anytime soon. It just isn't sparking interest for me. So yeah, it's out. Then I have Wilder Girls by Rory Power and Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. I actually read Wicked Saints and I have not read Wilder Girls yet. The reason why I'm unhauling these is I actually have zero interest in continuing this. I was more interested in the cover of this book than I was in the story itself, and when I read it, that was confirmed. Wilder Girls I was actually incredibly interested in. Again, the cover is gorgeous, but I do not like how the authors conducted themselves online with their peers. There was quite a bit of bullying going on, and just it really tainted it for me. These feel like Mean Girls right now. Like I'm holding up Mean Girls, and I just don't want that energy going into Japan, so they're for somebody else. All right, so that was box 1. pretty good. We got rid of 3. The second box I actually condensed into the third because the second box was really small and it ended up just getting thrown into the third. The third box is Autumn Manga Witches Suspense. Oh, this one is heavy. Scorpio Races. I will, again, have another video where I'm going into my organization of them when I am repacking them. So different video. If I'm not showing you every book in that box, it's nothing personal. Sawkill Girls, that was good stuff. Wise Child, my childhood. Oh, The Hidden Witch and Witch Boy, these are fantastic. Love these. Girl from the Other Side, I loved that one as well. Oh, Lone Wolf and Cub. It's about a dad who has like a baby in a stroller, but he's also like a samurai, or he used to be a samurai, and now he just goes around and kills people, but is also juggling his baby. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. The Devouring Gray. Sadie, solid standalone. Doesn't spark joy though. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And Olive Saga. I have figured out what I'm unhauling from that box. I feel like this is gonna be an unpopular video. Like I've seen people's fantastic unhauls where they're like, oh, they're giving like opinions and really well orchestrated and they're listing them out. I've seen it, they're fantastic, and they'll have like 10 dislikes because they're like, that's my favorite book and you got rid of it. Don't you want someone to read your favorite book? Shouldn't they unhaul it so someone else gets it? So The Devouring Gray, very similar Mean Girl vibe. In fact, possibly part of the same drama, but that's actually not why I'm getting rid of this. I'm not going to pretend to have altruism where there is no altruism. I actually was very meh about this and I don't want to continue it, so it's just going in the pile, which is now just bad energy. I'm on the fence about this one. I want to talk to you guys about this. I am thinking of getting rid of Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I thought this was interesting. It had really intense scenes in it. I like Leigh Bardugo's writing style, so it wasn't that. Twist ending was fantastic. I have seen different opinions on how the explicit sex scenes, and I don't even want to call them sex scenes. There is content warnings for sexual assault here, so the sexual assault scenes in this were questionable, and I totally agree. I feel like some things could have been dealt with better, and I want to see if she's going to explore that more in her second book, but I don't know when I'll read her second book or if I'll like it, because I just barely liked this one. I did like this book, but barely. So I'm putting this in the maybe pile. Those were the 2 books I was getting rid of from that. Not too bad. Box number 4, we have Winter, Russia, Alaska, and Bears. I go off of feelings here, okay? So this was obviously my winter box. Doesn't mean that everything in here is Alaska and bears. It's literally, it just means like those are the vibes. They were for me for packing. Everyone has their own packing techniques. I'm not sure if I should call it that, but that is what I'm going to call it for right now. Let's go ahead. Django Wexler's Ship of Smoke and Steel. I have not read that yet. The Shadow Between Us. This is by Trisha Levenseller. I do like Trisha Levenseller's pirate books. Girl with King Pirate Father. What is it called? Daughter of the Pirate King. Wow, Trisha, I am sorry. The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. Advanced reader's copy. How did I get this? Katie from Katie's Book Note gave this to me. Thank you, Katie. Legendborn. Madison from Princess of Paperback sent me this. That is super fantastic. I have not gotten to read it. I wanted to pick it up immediately because it's an Arthurian legend, but it got put in a box. So Queen of Camelot. This is so battered and used. It's one of my favorites. Oh, there you are. Beast Player by Nohoko Uehashi. This was on my favorite shelf, but I thought it was a standalone, and I was like, you know what? I'm not coming back to this world for a while. It's fine. I literally just finished Beast Warrior, and it was fantastic. This is a great duology. Would I recommend it to everyone? No, I'm getting off track here and putting it in the pile. These are like not wintry. What was she on? I would totally say Beast Player is summery or spring. The Queen's Resistance, which is the sequel to Queen's Rising, but the Queen's Rising is not in here. And Cody, which is a graphic novel that wasn't in the manga and graphic novels of the other one. Oh, but it's got a bear and it takes place in Alaska. This is the only book that belonged in this box. Fantastic. Loved it. Adorable. I can't wait to reorganize these like an actual functioning human. Oh! This one is the heaviest one, and it's the final. I better take out a lot of these, or we're going to have to reorganize entirely, because this box is too heavy. I'm not mailing this. Books and low priority / low interest. That doesn't mean that I don't want to read them. It's just like they weren't on my cart soon, or I'm just gonna be honest, they're contemporary, because contemporary is always a lower priority for me. I'm never really in the mood for contemporary. It has to very much so spark interest, and it's never going to happen. The Circus Rose. Oh, this is an advanced reader's copy. That's why it's in here. This was also sent to me by Katie. I don't know anything about this. Snow White and Rose Red retelling. No! Jade! These are library books. These don't belong to me. What even? These are from my library. I'm a criminal. I am so sorry. So this is Foundry Side and We Rule the Night. I would never steal library books and try and take them to a foreign country. I swear, I feel like I'm on trial right now. I feel like I was framed. I did not do this. This must have just been something where someone was helping me. I have no idea. I'm just moving on. Another advanced reader's copy. We have We Are Blood and Thunder, Rebel Wing. Oh, someone just recommended me Rebel Wing for Draconathon. Dragon Warrior. I think someone recommended me Dragon Warrior too. I have these books. These are great recommendations that I have. This is by Casing Calendar. This is an advanced reader's copy, so Casing Calendar. The Hate You Give. It's one that I very much so want to read, but because it takes place in the real world, I don't know. I have no excuse for this. V.E. Schwab, The Darker Shade of Magic. I read The Savage Song and I really didn't like V.E. Schwab's writing style, and then I DNF'd this Dark Duet. Is that even the sequel to The Savage Song? I just did not care for her writing style, and so I kind of wrote V.E. Schwab off as not being for me. Let me know if you think I would like this. Storm Siren. I know this is from Sarah from Novel Serendipity because she brings it up all the time and says, have you read it? And the answer is no, I'm a bad friend. You should know that by now. A River of Royal Blood. I absolutely love the fact that it's black sprayed edges. I don't know what edition this is, and it's just not that kind of video, guys. Sorry. We have the Foxhole Court. I think this was Katie. I'm just naming where I got these now, and that's because the guilt is starting to fester, because that is why this box is so full. I know it now. It is filled with gifted books, which hold special meaning to me, which means they're gonna be hard to get rid of. Harley in the Sky, advanced reader's copy. I think this is about possibly trapeze artists. Yeah, that's really cool. I would like to read more circus books. And Amberlow, I bought this a long time ago because I liked the cover, and then they sent me the wrong cover. And Labyrinth Lost. Why wasn't this in the fall witchy books? Sorry, You Are in the Fading Sunlight. I have no idea what it looks like, and I'm sorry if it looks bad. I found more books. They don't have a label, so they're just my books in a very small little box. She thought she was organized, she wasn't. Kindred by Octavia Butler. I haven't read this yet because it has my trigger in it, and I don't know exactly where or if I can handle it or not. So it's just been one I really want to read, and I'm terrified to do so. 8 Will Fall. What are you? 6, 7, 8. Okay, there are 8. I was counting how many people were falling in the back of the book. To prove them wrong. Ha! Only 5 fell. You lose. The Wicked Deep. This was gifted to me by my mother, and it was not in the witch box. Why? Wicked As You Wish. I very much so want to read this one. Also, I feel like probably should have been in the autumn box. Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts. Why was the autumn box so empty? There Will Come a Darkness. I don't know if it was Madison who gave this to me, but I know she wants me to read it. Okay, so random box. Finished. I've been reading the covers of some of these to see like if I'm still interested in them. A prince exiled from his kingdom, a ruthless killer known as Pale Hand, a once faithful leader torn between his duty and his heart, a reckless gambler with a power to find anything and anyone, and a dying girl on the verge of giving up. You know, I don't know. I'm not very interested in this, and I might be making a really big mistake. If I am, let me know. So I think Dragon Warrior is going to be unhauled. This one is a maybe. I'm putting this one on the chopping block just because I'm not entirely sure. It came out March 2020, and I haven't really heard anything about it. But if you have read this book and enjoyed it, and you think I would enjoy it, then let me know, because right now it's in the tentative pile, but it doesn't have to be. I'm intrigued. I'm just not super interested, and I could pick up a physical physical copy eventually, but I mean, it's right here, so. I am getting rid of Case and Calendar's Queen of the Conquered, not because I'm not highly interested in it, but because I'm having to hold it up like this because there is a dead name underneath, and I don't want to like always be trying to hide someone's dead name. That's not power that should be in my hands. Wicked As You Wish actually might be one I pick up soon. I have been super interested in picking up a Ren Chapeka book, and I have one physically in my hands right now. That's a maybe for sure. I don't know why I'm telling you I'm not getting rid of it in an unhaul. You don't care. You're here for blood. I am going to unhaul 8 Will Fall. What a pretty little poem by Sarah Harrion, because I just have no interest in it. I remember talking about this book a long time ago. I thought it was a sci-fi and I was really excited for it, but I don't know why I'm not interested in it. It just is not interesting to me. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. We're not connecting. There's no chemistry, so it's going to go. River of Royal Blood, I think might be a book I am not going to keep. I don't think I'm into blood magic. I think it's also interesting. They do spell magic with a CK, which is often used in like actual practicing witchcraft, which is not a negative. I just find it interesting. I don't often see that. I actually did that in my own book. But yeah, I'm interested to know, is that being used frivolously? Is that being used for a purpose? Is it just a cool spelling because it makes the k sound? I'm interested in that. I'm not interested really in the story though, and that's not good. Yeah, it's 2 sisters that are battling to the death. I don't like when sisters fight. I know that sounds so like wimpy. I don't know what else to say though. Like, I don't really like girl hate, and it's not something I often look for in a book, so I'm not sure if I could read an entire plot based on it. It's in the unhaul pile, but you can talk me out of it if I have this just so wrong. Oh gosh, the lighting is so bad. I look like tuna nigiri right now. Okay, I'm picking this back up tomorrow. And you might be saying, Jade, you just went through your 4 boxes plus a random extra. Well, I feel like a toy infomercial, but wait, there's more. The books that have been behind me on my shelf in the background while I am talking have been books I've randomly taken out to talk about at some point, or I have accumulated since my book buying ban, because that just sometimes happens and should be a video in itself. I'm going to, for right now, I'm going to try and better organize that, and then I'm coming back tomorrow to finish this up because there are still more books to unhaul. This is just me finding more books around my house and then setting them in the living room. So that's fantastic. Okay, new morning, fresh morning. I am awake, I've had some coffee, and we are back. I did a little bit of organizing while I was away, in the dark, mind you, but I did do organizing, and I have come up with a system. I think I know the books from what we looked at that I'm definitely keeping versus getting rid of. Got a pile here. These are library books, we're not gonna talk about that. And then I went back through the graphic novels, and I am going to, despite really, really liking them, I'm going to be unhauling The Witch Boy and The Hidden Witch. I very much so like these. I still want to read the 3rd one, but I'm going to read it on my Kindle app, and despite their size, these are really heavy. These 2 right here are heavier than 1 Incendiary, which if you have the book Incendiary, you'll see, I mean, it's a nice sized book. So the fact that it's actually heavier, like substantially heavier than this book, tells me that they're really good quality, and that's why, and because they're full color, and I'm going to be letting them go. I also have these, which despite their size are incredibly light, but their size. This is not only thicker than Incendiary, but it's thicker than my entire Strange the Dreamer box set by almost more than half. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these go. I've read them, I've enjoyed them. I would like them again, but they take up so much space. It's a manga, I'm moving to Japan, I need to be reasonable here. So these will also be in the unhaul pile. Then, chopping block. I talked a little bit about books that are kind of on the fence. I have quite a few books that are now on the fence because I rethought my seasonal thing. I am most likely, I'm not promising anything, but based off of hope and some facts that have been trickling in, I most likely will be leaving at the end of fall. In that thinking, I would be packing up my fall books, which then I wouldn't be able to read them, and then I would be sending them, and I would not be sending them for an entire year. So I would not be getting my fall books that I am getting ready to head into fall with until the following year. So I'm going to leave them out of the box, and if I do not get to them this fall, they're going to be unhauled. So these are chopping block books where it's kind of an official autumn TBR, which also should be another video. I have like 3 videos in this video. If I don't finish them now, they're not getting finished. First up, since we were just talking about it, is Incendiary. It has a girl who is kidnapped by the crown and is growing up in, I believe, the palace, and there is sort of a rebel spy situation, an uprising. One of my favorite tropes is uprising. I really, really want to read Incendiary. I've also seen really good things from trusted reviewers. I'm hoping to read Incendiary, but if I don't get to it, it's being unhauled. It is in the chopping block pile. I have this month to read Rebel Wing. I don't think I will be reading any more dragon books after this month. I have a huge few months ahead of me, and I'm getting as many dragon books as I can get done this month. So if Rebel Wing does not get read in August, then I'm going to be unhauling it. It's an advanced reader's copy, so it would be just going to a good home, most likely like a teen youth center. So not the worst case scenario, but a possible scenario for this book. Wicked As You Wish, really want to read it. Advanced reader's copy, possibly going to a youth center if I can't get it done this autumn. Magic in Arizona is what I'm getting out of this book, and that seems very much so a transitional from summer to fall type of book. Arizona, lived there, didn't care for it. Chopping block. Foxhole Court honestly just seems like an autumn read. It seems kind of like a dark academia book. I might be completely wrong, but if I am wrong and I don't get to it in the autumn, then it's going away. Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts. There's ghosts in this, so I'm definitely reading it this autumn. And if I don't, then it's going away. Amber Low, I will be really sad if I don't get to this book, but I'm not waiting an entire year to send it off. We will see about this one. The Wicked Deep, my mom gifted this to me. I very much so want to read it. It seems very autumnish. I am incredibly interested. It seems to be luring boys into Sparrow's Harbor and pulling them under. Oh, it might be a siren book? I was not getting siren from this. Oh, Wicked Deep, like the deep blue sea. Got it. 2 centuries ago, 3 sisters were sentenced to death for witchery. Stones were tied to their ankles and they were drowned in the deep waters surrounding the town. Now, for a brief time each summer, the sisters return, stealing the bodies of 3 troubled girls so that they may seek their revenge. Oh, luring boys into the Sparrow's Harbor and pulling them under. That sounds intensely interesting. Okay, well, I don't know if I would call that a siren book, but definitely an autumn book. If I don't get to it though, I'm going to gift it back to my mom. You're welcome, Mom. Or thank you, Mom. Not sure yet. The Beautiful. I think this has to do with vampires, and it's Renee Adia, and I liked her other series. Actually, I only liked half of her other series because it was a duology, and the second one kind of was underwhelming, but I really liked the first one. Let's see what she can do with vampires. Labyrinth Lost. I actually started this and DNF'd it softly. It's another Zoraida Cordova, so maybe this is my Zoraida Cordova summer, autumn. And if it's not, I will let it go so that it's being read by someone who will enjoy it. Shadow Between Us. Trisha Levenseller talked about this one earlier. If I can get to it this autumn, absolutely. If I can't, then it's going away. So without a preamble or rambling, I'm gonna go ahead and, because I kind of did this like vlog style where I was like talking my way through it, I hadn't looked at these. It wasn't just like a hot fast list. I'm gonna give you that hot fast list just to sum things up in my brain and on camera so that I remember for later if I need to skip forward and be like, did I unhaul that book? Yes, she did. Hidden Witch by Molly Knox Ostertag. The Boy Witch by Molly Knox Ostertag. Whew. Curls with Sharp Sticks by Suzanne Young. The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman. Wilder Girls by Rory Power. The Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. It Will Fall by Sarah Harrion. A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. Queen of the Conquered, this is by Kaysen Callender. The Dragon Warrior by Katie Zhao. There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. Unless Madison specifically starts yelling at me in my chat, and then I will not because I fear her. And Lone Wolf and Cub, Omnibus 1 and Omnibus 2. These are the books I'm for surely getting rid of. There is 13 of them. These are the books I'm reading this autumn that are on the chopping block. If I do not get to them or do not absolutely obsessively love them, then they are also being unhauled. There is 11 of them. You know what? I'm just getting rid of Ninth House. Sorry, that was a process. It came over me in a wave. I just had a moment of clarity. Boom. Now it's on the discard pile. You can go ahead and just dislike this video now. I'm ready for it. It's an unhaul. They're going to be dislikes. Hi, sorry. I'm going to also be unhauling Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. It is gigantic, it is heavy, and I gave it 3 stars. There is no reason why I should be sending this book to Japan and spending a small fortune on it, especially if it's going to take the place of another book. I'm sorry, you will be not moving on to the next round. Pack up your bags, you're leaving. Maybe my mom will want you. And I can be talked into keeping a V.E. Schwab Schwab book, or We Are Blood and Thunder. I'm only keeping one of these. Tell me which one I should keep. We Are Blood and Thunder by Kessia Lupo, or V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. I've never heard of this one. I am still feeling more drawn to it, or Popular Opinion with a exclusive special edition. You tell me. Okay, so I think that is the end of my unhaul video. Sorry that it was a total and complete mess and disaster. It took 2 filming days, and there's books everywhere. I have a couple more videos to film in like decluttering all of this. I am glad that I have less books going with me. I can curate the boxes that I am sending more easily. Yes, thank you for following me in this process. Sorry it was chaotic, but whether you liked it or not, I hope you enjoy the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye!